Hello everyone, my name is Bernardo. I'm a Brazilian and I'm currently living in Canada in the Alberta province. I have this article here that I'm publishing on Medium and also sharing on LinkedIn. I have some documentations also that I will try to follow. In this video, since we are in AI time, I just want to be sure that I'm sending the right message and trying to discuss a little bit more about my article um, without people thinking that it's just AI that wrote it. So I really think that is important that we have some kind of channel, a communication channel that we can talk with different perspectives. So I wrote this article, and that is something that I've been reflecting a lot lately. That is the difference between managing junior and seniors. So my main question it would be, what does it take to manage senior teams member effectively? And I think the first thing is to acknowledge what it means to be a senior, right? So when um, when we have a senior member in our team, we know that this person has been gone through a lot of process, right? So they faced different challenges within their career. They faced um, downtimes on the application. They faced different managers around them as well. So different styles of managing. They have their own strong opinion on some matters. So this is something that I think this is really important. Is to set a direction with them, right? So when we start talking with them, we need to set a context, set autonomy for them, and that they can really trust on your managers, because probably you're going to rely a lot on them also to enhance the other members of your team. So usually what happens is that you have one, two, three senior members in your team, and the others would be juniors or different levels of seniority, but probably you won't have a whole team of senior members working with you. So my main question here, if you try to manage a senior member the same way that you manage a junior one, you will lose engagement with them. So they don't need much to know how things are going to be, but they need to understand the why. So mostly for senior members, the why is more important than how. And here I bring some example from my team. So on my current role, I manage a team of 8 people, and I have most of them are junior, but I have a few senior member as well, and one of them is even over 20, 25 years of experience. And the important thing here that I notice is that when we look on the Jira board, we see on the under the junior member a lot of tasks, right? And the opposite side, when we look on the senior member, you just see one or two tasks, but with a high impact. And here it comes the difference. On the junior side, this to show progress through activity. So we see a lot of small tasks, a lot of activity happening with them. And with senior members, they show progress through impact. And even talking with a friend, uh, I realize that it's really hard to measure impact. So how you gonna measure impact of a senior member? So with a junior, you can just have some metrics of how many tasks were done, how how is being the productivity of that junior member. However, with senior, you cannot use the same measurements because the impact is not with just one task can have a really high impact. Rather, having like 10 tasks with low impact. So measure impact, it will be a discussion that I really want to take, but in another moment. Is how to measure this impact. If for example the senior member just fix an error at midnight that no one has seen, is this an impact? Is it not an impact? Like um, should he have seen this before or not? So this is how we're gonna try to balance um, between the senior and the junior. And with that, I come with some lessons learned. And so, for example, give them context, not ask with a senior member. And I think it's still important to give context for juniors. I'm not saying that is not important and they must work on like blinded is not that, but with a senior member, you probably bring them earlier in the discussion of, for example, a new architecture, a new product, a new feature. You bring them earlier in the discussion, and they will have the whole context, even with different areas, on the impact of that new thing that you are building or supporting. While with juniors, you still need to give them some context, but sometimes if you give them a lot of context and no tasks, they can get lost on their daily routine. They may not understand what they need to prioritize. Instead, with a senior member giving the context based on their experience, they will have a better notion on how to prioritize their tasks and even how to create their tasks. And the second topic here is go along with this, right? So involve them in the decision making. So before you choosing something, before you say, hey, let's adopt this strategy, ask them. Even if you're gonna change some communication strategy or if you're gonna change some productivity tool, it's really good to involve them before, because they may have ideas, they may propose alternatives that can help you and leverage you to build a better team. Probably they will have years, many years more than you on the company. So it's really important to involve them on the decision making process. They will know better how to even guide you. You need to give more autonomy and accountability on the task. So they really own the task, right? So if you set the context, so first we set the context, then we involve them on the decision making process, and finally now they will have the autonomy and the accountability to do the tasks. Of course, you still need to do some check-ins. You need to keep them on track, on the right path. However, you give more autonomy. They can work maybe it's several days without a check-in, and then you do a check-in, you do a retrospective, you do a review on their work, and then you have a new alignment. This is really important that you recognize their expertise. So they know uh, sometimes even more than many members of your team. So we need to rely them, and we need to acknowledge their contributions. This is also really important. And finally, what I said is that we can't skip feedback. So we still need to give feedbacks from juniors to seniors, managers, directors. Everyone needs feedback. It's a process that you can improve, and you need to be completely honest with them. They will know if they are out of track. If you are trying to omit something, they will know it. So you need to be completely honest with them, and of course with juniors as well. Um, but on the feedback with the seniors, show the metrics, align the context, show any future things that you are thinking to do, and that you will create some partnership on that matter. So managing juniors often feels like being a teacher, while managing seniors is more like being a conductor. So with the first group, you'll be more present on their daily life, on their daily routine. You will be there showing them how to do things. However, with seniors, you're gonna show why they're gonna do something. You're conducting them to the right path, and this will be more on trust, alignment, and impact. So again, the word impact shows again here for us, and we're gonna discuss this in a later moment. But this is what is really important, right? To show impact, to show trust on the senior member, and alignment. They will have different opinions. They will have strong different opinions, and it's on the management to set the right alignment, to set the right context. And finally, if you're managing a team with senior and junior, that it will always, or most of the time it will happen, this mixed kind of team. Your superpower will be adaptability. So it's something that you will need to learn how to do it. You will need to recognize each person differences. So this is what is important on a mixed team. So yeah, thank you for reading the article or watching the video. I'm sorry if I was a little bit confusing here. It's just my first video and on this format. I will try to improve next time to be more assertive on what I'm saying. But this is my idea. I'm really open to discuss more if someone wants to bring your ideas, bring what you think, and then we can discuss it. If you have any different examples than mine, also just comment it and we can have some kind of discussion. Thank you.